Hey Aaron, what's up? Thanks again for sending in your swings. I like how fast you're making the changes. Your grip looks, like 10 times better than where it was the day before. So let me just. So this was you the day before, I guess. Okay, you still have the pointy index finger look and the knuckles on top of the grip. Um, so again, like if you do this kind of move, if you do this kind of grip, okay, it's gonna make you twist the club, or it's gonna make you roll your forearms a little bit too much. Which, actually, you do a pretty good job of keeping it square, um, but you see how it's making you work a little bit too hard with the amount of flex that you put in your right arm or right wrist. Sorry, it's making you flex your wrist a little bit too much at the top, therefore limiting the range of motion that you get. So you probably fix your slice by bowing your left wrist, right? So the club face is actually in a much better position than where it was, say 6 months ago. Okay, so actually it looks very, very, very nice. Okay, yeah. Overall, the club face looks much, much better. But um, I'll pull up. I like to analyze this one since it's your latest swing change. Okay. So hopefully whoever is taking this video has a still hand. Okay, so it moved a little bit, but you can still use it as a reference. Yeah, it's a lot of forearm rotation in the beginning. Um, they're probably just remnants of your previous grip, where you have to be so active before. You're still rolling your forearms a little bit too early. Okay, so you're not getting a lot of shoulder turn, but you're getting a lot of wrist roll, forearm roll here early, right? Okay, nice and compact at the top. Very good move here, from here to here. Very square. So I heard that you actually are hitting it a lot further now with the new setup. That's good to hear. But you always have a really nice um, follow through though. So I think that's your talent, you know, speaking for you there. But from this angle, I would probably say that um, you probably could still work on strengthening that right hand grip, but also at the same time um, feeling like your forearm, especially your left forearm, is remaining rotated this way instead of uh, letting it roll open this way. Okay, because if you let's say let's see if you rotate your forearm clockwise, it's gonna throw the club inside. Okay, and when you throw the club inside, it means that the club head is now moving at a faster rate than the rest of your body. Okay, so if you can imagine like your hands being here, if it's literally only traveled here, from here to here. Okay. Meanwhile, your club head has traveled from this point all the way to here. You know. So whenever you have an inside takeaway by rolling the forearms, it's kind of making the ratio between the amount that you move your hands and the amount that you move the club head a little bit too large of a ratio. Okay, the club head is moving way too fast for your arms and hands, and therefore you're actually not accumulating enough of a stretch going back, because essentially you're just flinging the club head back here without using much of your torso and your, I mean, you are using your torso, but it's a little bit late to the show. So you don't really get a deep enough turn with your upper body, with your right shoulder. It's not going deep enough to the target. Also, you kind of get into this low position here, which is fine. It's not the worst thing in the world, but if you want to gain more power and more athleticism, you don't really need to worry about keeping that right elbow so tucked underneath you. But if you're hitting it more consistently that way, it's fine. We can just add more thoracic rotation going back to gain more power. Not much to complain about on the downswing. You're pretty good from the top. So the only thing that I can say from this view is that you're rotating your forearms, rolling your forearms a little bit too early, causing an uneven ratio between the club head and the hands and the arms in relation to your body turn. Okay. So let's take a look at you from another angle. Okay, so definitely major improvement from here. I can see that you fixed your head. It's perfect. Okay, so no need to talk about that anymore. So the thing is with the grip, okay, you've definitely fixed your right hand to be more underneath you this way, but I actually do not like how the shaft is sort of lined up more with your right arm than your left arm. All right, if you take a look at the top players on the PGA Tour, most of them would have the left arm. I'm sorry, let me just delete these. So most of them would have the shaft and the left arm matching this way. So the shaft would be more vertical at setup than the way you have it here. All right. So I like the way you set up with your body and everything, but if you're strengthening your grip, if you're putting your right hand more underneath you, you can then from there feel like you push your hands a little bit more forward, just so that the left arm is now more in line with the shaft. Okay, here, more in this fashion. That's where the left arm and the shaft should be. With the driver, it's okay to have a slight lean back with the shaft, but not this much back. Okay, so little setup issue. Let's get you going here. Your knees are moving way, 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 way better than 6 months ago. That's probably where you get your distance from. You actually make a really nice body turn. Very nice. Probably just a setup issue from this angle. And the wrist, the forearm roll that we talked about, it's kind of moving the club head too fast if you roll your arms, and therefore you don't get the lag that most of the longer hitters get during transition. You don't have any delay, so most of the longer hitters on tour would have the club head see how, like, when you start your downswing, the club head moves immediately. So as soon as you start moving that way with your knees, you can already see the club head is immediately going down. All right, you kind of have no delay in between. So most PGA Tour players, when they get to the top, when the club is here, they would then start to move their left knee. However, the club would be a little more, it would remain more passive while you are moving your left knee towards the target. Therefore, you can create more stretch where your shoulders are moving this way, but your pelvis is starting to move the other way at the top during transition. That's what you want to feel. You kind of want to feel this stretch. Okay, the separation between the upper and lower, where the upper is still going up and the lower body is starting to move towards the target or rotating towards the target. So you create more of a disassociation at the top. That's definitely going to get you more power and more timing, more time to hit the ball, and more distance, for sure. But overall, I really like the way you move. No issues with the left knee. Yeah, just a slight timing issue, really. Not much to comment here with your golf swing, except for I feel like one, the setup, and also a quieter forearm rotation on the way back from P1 to P2 is gonna help a lot. It's gonna help you create that disassociation at the top, because when the club is moving at a rate that it's moving due to the forearm roll, it's gonna be pretty hard for you to disassociate at the top. Okay, it's gonna kind of move together with the rotation. See how the club is bouncing off of the green circle as soon as you move your left knee towards the target. Okay, that's you're gonna lack some power if you might be consistent, but your timing lacks that little extra twist at the top. So essentially, it's like your swing needs a little more flavor to it, by creating more of a disassociation between the movement of the club head and the left knee here. Okay, that's gonna get you way more power and more whip at the bottom, right? It's gonna get you whipping more here if you can create that little separation move at the top. All right, thank you.